everyone. Let me just make sure I've got, yay, filter. Because the lack of sleep life is, it is real right now. It is real. So I'm going to be joined by Hayley in a couple of minutes when she jumps on. The incredibly Hayley Dyson from Dyson Financial. Yes, Dyson Financial. I'm having a total brain fart moment. It's been intense. Like, this is not like setting up for a normal live where I just jump on and kind of wing it and it's really fun. It's been like, okay, for an hour before I'm working, mentally set up the kids and then make sure the iPads charge, make sure we have snacks and all the rest of it. So I'm gonna like chill for a second. All right, let's see if we can bring Hayley in now and see if this is gonna work. Because we used to do these sessions, these guest speaking sessions via Facebook because you could bring a guest in. And you can't do that anymore. Hi, Hayley.
Hi, how you going?
So good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks.
Well, I mean, like, so good, like, I guess as good as you can get right now is
Yeah.
really more accurate.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. My kids are home, everyone's sick, and the world's kind of turned to crap. But still really good. Everything's still really good, right?
Yeah, it's as good as it can be. It was my birthday yesterday and I couldn't go out for dinner or do anything fun, but hey, if that's the worst thing that happens to me, then, I've got nothing to complain about, do I?
Yeah, so re-celebrate again in a few months. Like, extend the birthday and in a few months re-celebrate. Like, that's what happening. My sister's wedding got cancelled for this weekend. I'm like, that's okay. We're just
Oh,
having
no.
a year-long wedding. It's just going to extend out a little bit longer. So,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
well, for everyone who's joining us live, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself? And then I've got a bunch of questions people have been sending in, and then we can answer some
Awesome.
more, come through and have questions while we're doing this as well. Sound good?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Thank you for having me. So, my name is Hayley Dyson. I've been a financial planner for 10 years this year. I've had my own business for 2.5 years, and I specialise in superannuation, personal insurances, retirement planning, and investing. So that's kind of me. I have a husband and a 4-year-old as well, and everybody's at home at the moment, just like you, Shona. So yeah, it's a little bit crazy here. So I've just locked myself away, and hopefully no one comes running in. But you never know.
It happens. It totally happens. This is this is the new version of how business looks, is kids running in the background, is me throwing packets of sultanas through the door and possibly breastfeeding. And I've definitely been pooped on by the baby a couple of times during the live as well. Now, guys, I just want to
Awesome.
comment on how Hayley and I met. Is we actually met at the SA Women award night as well. We were both nominated for awards, and she got up in this pink dress and this long blonde hair, and they said, "This is a financial advisor," and I was like, excuse me. They're meant to be like old, bold, grumpy men. And so of course I went, we'd spoken to lots of financial advisors before, when we were in really, really well-off situations and when we were like nearly bankrupt situations, and we pretty much got laughed at all the time as a young couple trying to figure out what they were doing with their finances. So the minute I saw Hayley in her pink dress, I'm just like, she's my kind of girl. And we actually ended up
Thank you.
working together and collaborating on some with like some speaking and training, and she's actually our financial advisor as well, who is totally transformed our finances. So I know I've worked with Hayley firsthand, and this is going to be an amazing chat. Is there anything you just want to touch on right now about how you're feeling about everything that's happening right now, especially in the world of finance?
This is all like uncharted waters, really. Like this is all new for everybody. So everyone is reacting differently, and it's really tough to know what the right thing to do is. So I definitely encourage everyone to get some proper advice for sure. So
Yeah, and as
but
well,
yeah,
speaking with our legal team and with the accountants that we work with, everyone's kind of going, we don't have stuff in place for this type of
yeah.
crisis. Like, yeah, floods, fires, we kind of know how to navigate those, but pandemics is not something we've experienced in like 100 years, and we're just not prepared for it.
Yeah, that's right.
And what has the feedback been kind of from your clients coming back?
People are kind of panicking about whether they should move their super to cash, what they should do, because they're looking at their super and they're seeing it going down and down and down, and everyone is kind of panicking. So my main advice is stop panicking. Unless you're planning on retiring in the next 2 to 5 years, don't panic. If you are planning on retiring in the next 2 to 5 years, let me know and we can put some plans in place and look at what's right for you. For my clients that are retiring in the next few years, I'm saying, can we kind of try and ride this out? If it's really upsetting you, if it's really bothering you, if you really would feel more comfortable moving your super to cash, then do it. But if you can ride it out for a bit longer and we'll just see how we go, then let's do that. Because historically, every single time the markets have fallen, they have recovered and they have grown more than they were before they recovered, if that makes sense. So if we hang in there, it will get better, I promise. We just don't know when.
Yeah, as there's always like that, having that, if you can be in it for the long game, stay in it for the long game. But if you
Yes.
can't, like, yeah, if your timeline's a lot shorter than other people, like my parents are meant to be retiring in the next 2 to 4 years. And I'm just like, please, for God's sake, look at everything. And they're like, no, the wedding's being cancelled. And that's like all they can think about right now. And I'm like, there is more going on than the wedding. Please tell me you've checked your super.
Yeah. Yeah. See, people in that scenario, if we can write it out, that's good. If again, everyone's scenario is different and it might be worth moving them to more conservative investment options, but people who still have 30 or 40 more years before retirement, don't panic and put your money into cash. Let's just leave it where it is. Like, I looked at mine yesterday and I've lost $18,000 and I'm just like, even I went, holy crap. Like, that's a lot of money, but it will come back. And that's kind of the message that I want people to know, is that it will come back. And when you move it over to cash, you're realizing the loss. So that means it is a definite loss. Whereas at the moment, it's still invested and it will come back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it does. And the way I've been thinking about it is it's like Schrodinger's cat. It's in the box right now, and I can either open it and it'll be dead, or I'll open it, it'll be alive. But if it's in the box, the state is still in flux, like we don't know.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly
kind of the idea that I'm thinking. And obviously, like, you've seen our super, you know the situation, and how we put all the supers into one fund as well, which I think has been a really smart decision. But that's just actually reminded me, one of the questions that has come through is, should I reassess my risk tolerance? This is someone that obviously knows a little bit of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And she's wondering, should I reassess my risk tolerance? What advice would you give her in that?
So risk tolerance refers to how comfortable they are with risk and therefore how much risk their investment has. So if you are in, like I was just saying, if you're in high growth, you're going to see a lot more of a fall at the moment than you would for someone that is in something that's a lot lower growth, if that's making sense. So yes, it's a good time to reassess your risk tolerance. And if you're really, really uncomfortable with how things are going, maybe make it a little bit more conservative. But like I said before, hang in there if you can. Basically, hang in there if you can and just wait for it to come back.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like, this being the situation that it currently is right now, things are changing every day. If, we don't know what it's going to be, whether the 3 month, 6 month, 18-month kind of scenario, and I'm sure we can bring you back in multiple times down the track. But when would you advise, if they feel comfortable with things now, when would you advise them to kind of have a look and reassess, like, okay, this is the long-term situation, this was a short-term thing and we're fine? Would you say check back in a month, 3 months? What would you be advising them?
Yeah, I'd say probably around a month to 3 months. Just in, like, looking at your super every single day is the worst thing you can do, particularly in times like this. But even if you were looking at it before, you're going to see a difference day to day because the share market changes day to day. And most superannuation funds have a large exposure to shares. So that's why we're seeing the changes that we're seeing, because the share market has fallen. So the risk with making things more conservative is that when the share market starts to rise again, then you're going to miss out when on those first initial bits of growth where it starts going back up. And if you miss out, you might miss the boat, essentially, if you like. You miss the first initial bit and jump on when you could have been in a better position than if you hadn't.
Yeah. So
I feel like I'm kind of, yeah.
When you're saying about, like, don't make decisions from a place of panic just before, like, don't panic,
yeah,
it's going to be okay. And I think that's the problem, is everyone's panicking, going, I have to make choices right now in case it gets worse.
That's right.
The fact that it's like, if you're making a decision, if you're looking at all this, if you're freaking out and you're in a space of panic, you're not even able to make, like, a high functioning brain
that's right
decision anyway. So the first step should always be like, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, hang in there and wait and see. But
go for a walk, go drink some wine, have sex, and then come back and think about it again. And it will probably be a little bit easier to deal with. Okay, well, thank you so much for answering that one. Now, the next question's coming from Rachel, as she says, what is the outlook for the economy and the markets right now?
It's really hard to say, and economists all over the world cannot agree because, again, this is something we've never seen. So people are really just, it's kind of like who's got a crystal ball, you know what I mean? So honestly, I don't have an answer for that one, but my personal opinion is things are going to get a bit worse before they get better, but it will get better.
I
So
think that's a great,
again,
everything's changing day by day. Like everything seems to be fine,
yeah,
fine, fine for a week, and then everything changes in a matter of like 4 hours, and then we're okay for a couple of days, and then we seem to have these big bursts of activity. And obviously
yes,
big bursts then of collective fear, and then we kind of settle in and go, okay, this isn't so bad. I can still do my food shopping. I've got enough toilet paper.
yeah.
The panic kind of
I've
bubbles
stocked up
up
on
again.
wine. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got enough wine. I know. I'm so grateful because being pregnant, I still got gifted and given so much wine, but I couldn't drink it
How
all. So
great.
my entire queen bed right now, nobody come and loot my house. My entire queen bed, under it is full of wine because I'd just been storing everything until I could start drinking again. So I'm like, I'm set, I'm fine.
You're good, girl.
I'm so good. All right. Next question was, is this a buying opportunity? Should we be looking at property or stocks or something like that? How do you feel about
Yes. Well, yeah, I mean, the best time to buy is when the market's down because like I've got clients at the moment who we were about to invest and everything's full and they're like, should we still do it? I'm like, well, yeah, because you're buying it when it's really cheap. So when it does go back up, then things are going to be really good. So yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert in property and I would definitely speak to someone who is an expert in property. But yeah, I mean, buy when everything's cheap. Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think people should, take, just because I know this particular client and we've worked with some money coaching, I know her
Yes.
specific financial ideal. Do you think if someone had like, say, a $5,000 that they've been saving as a to invest, but they didn't have a lot of other backups, would that $5,000 be best kept for them, for their family right now, just to see the situation they're in, or should they invest it, or should they invest a portion of it? What do you think would be the best bet for them in that situation?
If it's kind of like rainy day money, I'd say put it away. But maybe for the moment, while there's a lot of uncertain times and people are losing jobs and businesses are going under and things like that, maybe hang in there for a bit longer. Again, it depends. Without me knowing this person's personal situation, it's really hard to comment. But yeah, it's a great time to invest, but not necessarily investing where you're going to need to pull it out again in the next couple of months.
Yeah. So invest if you're in a position where, yeah, you're not going to then shoot yourself in the foot and not be able to
Yes.
afford help for the next few weeks. Right.
Yes.
And that would obviously depend on, job security for people right now and where they're
Yes.
currently at. Because that some industries have been completely demolished. And then other industries like my Sexy Selfish has never had a better month. So it's just a really interesting time for people. So I'm just going to grab a drink.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, like people that work in hospitality. I've got many friends that work in hospitality and they're, as of yesterday, all out of a job for the foreseeable future. So it's a really tough time. And no one was really expecting that. So
yeah, it's insane. So then I guess the next thing, and this would be, personally, I'm wondering, and I've got a lot of DMs about it. I'm like, guys, I am not qualified to answer this. I can help you with your relationship with money, how you feel about money, but I cannot give you the advice that Hayley would. So when anyone contacts me with a like an actual what super fund should I be with type of question, I always recommend you to, like, I send them straight to you, or I send them straight to, I've got a list of accountants as well, and I'm like, I ain't qualified for this answer. I said, go and deal with that properly and then come back and we'll tackle your money guilt, right? But what people have been asking a lot is about the new rules that have come out with that people can pull money out of their super. And I think for a lot of us, we're wondering, is that like going to be, yes, short term, it's going to help us through a lot, but what is the long term ramification of that? And I just wondered if you had thoughts on that one.
Yeah, it's really tough because, again, it depends on if people can get through without it. I would definitely suggest that because, I mean, using my own situation as an example, my super's already down by close to 20,000. If I pull out another 20,000, then I'm down by 40,000. And then obviously the recovery is not going to be as good because the funds aren't going to be there to recover. You know what I mean? So it's a great way of getting through. I guess it's a great solution for the government because they don't therefore have to put lots and lots of money into helping everybody because we've already got the money there. But I guess my answer is if you can get by without it, do it. If you really can't, then pull it out. because at the end of the day, there's no point having retirement savings if you can't afford to keep your house. So, yeah.
Great point. And I know for a lot of the clients that I work with, they are often stay-at-home mums, or they've got their own business, and their partner will obviously, they often work full time. And so the women who are working at home, working their own business, they haven't even been putting super in for X amount of years. So maybe there's like some residual super left over from when they were working, but normally only around maybe $10,000 to $20,000 anyway. They're going, well, should I pull it out? It's such a little amount. It's not. But then they reduce it to nothing. But it's going to help their family get through if their partner's just lost their job. So how would you think about the situation?
It really comes down to an individual situation, and every person's situation is going to be different. So in that, if you can't afford to eat, then by all means, definitely pull it out. Because, and again, if you're 2 to 5 years away from retirement, you've only got 20K, that's a bit different than someone that's 30 or 40 years away. And we've got time to put a strategy in place to build it up again, basically. So, because if you've still got time, then we can look at it again in the future. But yeah, it's all really tough, isn't it? It's really tough because it's really tough to know what to do because every single person's situation is slightly different.
Yeah. And what would you recommend for people that up until this point, maybe like I was a year ago, hadn't even thought about their super, hadn't looked at it, had no idea about income protection or anything like that? What would your advice be for them moving forward who up until this point have still been too scared and might still be too scared right now to even open and go online and find out what their super is? What would you recommend?
Being educated is always a great thing because it's your money and you can be in control of how it's working and what it's doing for you. As you've found, Shona, you get a lot of satisfaction out of actually knowing what your money's doing because it is part of your overall wealth. So people that are panicking about it, don't. Have a look, have a glass of wine next to you, be prepared to go, whoa, it's a lot less than I thought, like I did yesterday when I looked at mine. But don't panic. It's still not a bad time to review your super because even if the balance is down, we can still have a look at the fees that you're paying, and if you're interested, have a look and see if we can make it work better for you and take advantage of make the best of the bad situation, if you like. And I've had a lot of inquiries about income protection and insurances at the moment because people are scared about what's going to happen. I actually, as you know, I'm very passionate about making sure everyone has proper insurances in place. So no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And I definitely think this isn't a bad time to look at it because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We don't know, if people are going to pass away, if anything's going to happen. So it's definitely a good time to make sure that you've got the right protection in place for sure.
Yeah, and something interesting that Hayley did for me and for my family that I didn't even know was an option before working with her was something called trauma cover. And I would recommend it to everyone because it's just the peace of mind. Like we have trauma cover for myself, my husband, my 2 kids, and Hudson doesn't qualify yet, I don't think, because he's not
yet.
Like that, they said.
That's right.
So he's not on there yet. But trauma cover is just, for me, I don't know what the definition is for you, but for me, it's been knowing that if anything happens dramatically in our life in a big way, one of us got really, really sick, one of us was, in a dramatic accident and was on life support, then we would still be okay, that we weren't going to lose our house or anything. So even though this pandemic was not something we planned for, unlike the Aaron, we're fine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm love trauma cover.
Yeah. So in terms of the insurances that you deal with, did any insurance companies have something like this in place, or is it a really new situation that they don't have anything set up for?
It's really new. I mean, income protection, most of the cover that I do has a 30-day waiting period, which means you have to be off work for longer than 30 days to make a claim, and it will pay until you reach age 65 or until you return to work, whichever comes first. But given that coronavirus is only kind of strikes you down for 2 weeks, a lot of people, unless they have ongoing issues with the coronavirus, if they even get it, can't necessarily claim. So yeah, it's kind of like the insurance companies haven't prepared for something like this before that is so dramatic, but also so short term. Does that make sense?
No, completely. And then I guess the long-term effect of, with people out of work and stuff, they're going, but it's just this big grey area right now, I'm sure, for a lot of people.
Yes. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
The next step was, if people have questions and want to dive into this further, would be to contact their financial advisor and their accountant. Or if they don't have one and they're thinking now's not the time to do that, but it is. Now is absolutely still the time to get your shit together. Because even, if you're thinking you've got super in all these different places, like I know when we started working with Hayley, we were like super in like 6 different places, and we were having annual fees and everything taken out of all of them. So by combining them
Yes.
with one, which is what Hayley did for us, we're now only paying one set of fees and administration, and only having one drop a little bit, not 8 drop a little bit. So
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, I think a lot of people will be going, now's not the time to look at that. But it's like, no, now is absolutely the time to look at it from a calm, level-headed place, not like
Yes.
a panic, sell everything, we can't afford it situation, which is just so
Yes.
rooted in lack. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, as I said, it's a great time just to make sure that you've got those insurances in place, so no matter what happens, you're going to be okay financially.
Yeah. I was just taking, does anyone have any questions? Feel free to pop them in the comments. We're live for a few more minutes. If there's anything anyone else wants to know, is there anything else clients have been in contact with you with, or any questions or anything you just love everyone to know who's listening?
The only other questions I've been getting is how do you access your superannuation and what the criteria is for the $10,000. From my understanding from what they've released is that if you have lost your job as a result of the coronavirus pandemic, if you're a sole trader and your work has either ceased or has reduced by more than 20%, then you are eligible to make a claim. So I'm sure everyone heard that the MyGov site was down yesterday because everyone is making claims, which makes sense. The claims will be backdated, but that's the way to log on and apply for the benefits that are available to you, which is, I believe, a payment. And they're saying the payment in total will be about $500 a week if you're eligible for like a job seeker payment as well. And then that's how you apply to get the $10,000 out of your superannuation as well through the MyGov site. It's an application to the ATO, and then I'm actually not too sure in this case. Normally the ATO gives you a letter saying you've been approved and you apply to the super fund yourself. I believe in this case they might be automating some of them for some of the super funds. Yeah. So that's the only other question I've been asked is how do I actually do that and what the criteria is. So that based on what the government has released so far, that's what the information that I have. So
yeah, and the MyGov account, which is I've just checked now, it is still currently down, which is not ideal because I think when a lot of people are in a place of panic, they just kind of want to move forward. They want to get online, they want to do their applications, they want to figure it out, they want to look at the questions.
Yeah.
And when you can't even get on, or you can't even get through on the phone, or you're waiting 6 hours in a Centrelink line, that just kind of increases the feelings of frustration and helplessness.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah. So
yeah, because I'm like, that's great that they're going to backdate it. Sorry. We're talking over each other, Shona. I'm sorry.
I'm glad.
I was just going to say that's great they're going to. Yeah, they're going to backdate it, but I'm like, that still doesn't help people that won't have a paycheck this week. So the whole situation is just really frustrating, but the government's doing the best they can, I suppose. So. Yeah.
Is there any news on, like, because everyone was talking about the banks putting things on hold, or you can actually, if you're in small business, you can apply for different, what am I trying to say?
Loans? Different loans? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, like you can apply for different loans. You can switch to interest-free, not interest-free, but interest-only payments and things like that. So there's definitely options. I just would encourage people to start, get on the phone, start making some phone calls, speak to your bank, speak to your brokers, speak to your financial planner, speak to your accountants. These are people who are here to help in situations like this. They're not here to just capitalize and take all your money in a situation when you're already panicking. They're in the industry they're in because they're passionate about what they do, like Hayley is, and I know she's especially passionate about income protection. So if you haven't already looked at that, income protection is something to really start thinking about now as well, because I'm sure moving forward a lot of companies will reevaluate and look at things and how they cover people in situations like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So thank you, Hayley, so much for joining us. Do you want to tell people where they can find you and where they can get in contact with you to answer further questions, or
Absolutely. My Facebook page is Dyson Financial, and feel free to send me a private message. My phone number's on there and my website is on there as well. My website is dysonfinancial.net.au, so you can also get in touch with me through there, and that will send me an email. But the fastest way would be through Facebook private message or sending me a text or give me a call. So if I can help anyone, then please feel free to get in touch.
Awesome. I seriously encourage everyone to reach out and connect with Hayley. She's done amazing things for our family and our finances, and will continue to through the years as well. Awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on and volunteering your time. I'll keep this will be up for 24 hours. So if people have questions, they can always comment in the replay, and we'll try and touch back in and answer any questions. And then it will be removed off of IG Live, but then it will be up as a podcast, and the video will be on my Facebook page. I'm sure we'll share it to Hayley's Facebook page as well, so you can come and check.
Thank you.
Obviously, things are updating really fast at the moment, so make sure you're trusting and following the official news sites as well. You can also follow Hayley's Facebook page. I'm sure she'll be popping stuff up, and I'll be sharing some money mindset and some money relationship tips as well. Thanks, guys. Have a fantastic day.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone. Bye.